Welcome to 2023, everybody. We made it. So, obviously, I don't give a crap about how I'm looking right now. Just woke up, but it's 2023, so Happy New Year. I came on here to say a few things because I think we all need to focus on what we're trying to accomplish this year. Let me turn this down for a second. So, if you haven't thought about what you want to accomplish, or you might have been trying to think about it, but it didn't really seem to, like, you didn't get any good ideas, well, I'm here to help you. Focus on you. Because if you're not focusing on you, then when time comes where you are needed, where you are wanted, where you are desired, where you are inspired, then you will basically have nothing to give because you haven't been pouring anything into yourself. Okay? This isn't going to be a boring message at all. Because one of the things that I want y'all to focus on is saying no. But I also want you to focus on saying yes. So let me determine the difference for you. We're going to say no to people who ask favors of us in 2023. If this is a person who is always needing, always wanting, always got an issue going on, always need a little help, as much as you might want to help, it is not your responsibility. It is not your job. You are not obligated. And you are not their savior. Okay? Just say no. Just say no. We're not bailing anybody out of anything this year. Accountability is a must. We can't enable people in 2023. If you don't feel appreciated, then when they ask you for any other favor, just say no. Okay, just say no. Like, if this person is good to you, sure. If I'm able, if it's in my capacity, if I have it to spare with no issues and no sacrifice on my end, and it's something that I would like to do, sure. Because what we're not going to do is give our energy in 2023 where it does not belong. Okay? We're going to say no. We're going to say no to the stress, the unconstructional stress. The stress is not edifying us and uplifting us and elevating us to the next level. No. If it's a job and you're like, oh crap, it's really stressful, and you know that you're working on excelling in the company, you're working on your next goal, and you know that it's within your reach, sure, that stress is worth it. Okay? But if you know everything's gonna be how it is, the people still gonna be how they are, they still ain't gonna appreciate you, say no. If they don't like it, too bad. That's not what you were signed up for, and you're not obligated to do it. Okay? And these are thoughts I've had to, bring into fruition for myself, to be like, your primary focus was to be less stressed, to minimize, to downsize, to be more simplistic, to travel more, right? I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm steady taking on more and more obligations, overextending myself where it's not elevating me and where I'm not appreciated. And so I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, there's so many people out here that's going through the same thing, and we just need to stay focused. Because what was the goal in 2022? What did you accomplish and what didn't you? And it's not to beat yourself up, be like, well, I didn't accomplish anything, or I accomplished everything, so I don't know what else to do, or I accomplished some and not others. So what? We're not rewinding, we're fast forwarding. Okay, We're in the present moment, and we're trying to think ahead. So you take those same goals and then you add on to them. You work on them. If one area is lacking, so what? That does not mean you failed. That just means you have to pick that area back up. Maybe that area to pick up might not be right now. Maybe it might be in the summer. Who knows? But you haven't dropped that, okay? You might have reorganized, rearranged some things, but that's still part of your goal. If you write this stuff down on a piece of paper, post it on a wall, post it on the fridge, somewhere where you can see it. Every morning you wake up, not on your cell phone, not on your computer, unless you work on your computer and you have the sticky note just sitting there every morning on your desktop. Okay, cool. But if not, post it somewhere that you can see in the morning and before you go to bed at night, so that you can reflect over your day. Because once you have those goals, then you'll know, okay, I'm doing good. How am I doing on this? You check back in with yourself in a journal, okay? Once a week, not every day. I'm not saying write this every day in the journal. If you want to journal every day, cool. But I'm saying just devote one day a week to yourself, maybe just 30 minutes, to where you write down, sit down, and reflect. Where am I on this goal? Okay? I'm a writer. I write on my computer, I write on my phone, I write in journals, on random pieces of paper. I write lots of poetry, I write stories, I write feelings, I write emotions, I write thoughts, I just write. But I understand everybody can't do that, and I'm saying just reflect back to you. Give yourself the time that you're robbing yourself by giving it to other people. Give yourself a few minutes. You can give somebody else an hour. You can give somebody else 2 hours of your time. You can give somebody else, your gas, taking them across town. You can give somebody food, and there's nothing wrong with doing all these things for people. But how come when it comes to you, you're not giving yourself these things? Oh, I really like those shoes. They just cost too much. I can't justify paying that. Well, then how the heck you justify sending it to somebody? I had to sit here and go through this stuff with myself. But year after year, I just get better. I get better because I'm reflecting. And I'm like, okay, did you go back on that plan to this, this day, this month, this week, this year? You did? Okay. You got to stop doing that. You got to talk to yourself. You got to stop doing it. Don't do that again. Let it be the last time. You can't just be like, oh, well, I screwed up that. No, you ain't screwed up. It's not too late. You're still here. It's not too late to restart anything. If you want to be like, hey, I don't want to be the person that I am anymore. I want a different set of, friends. I want a different group, a vibe to hang around. I want a different career. I want a different network. Okay? I just want a different personality. I don't want to be known as this person anymore. Then do it. And whoever doesn't like it, oh well, goodbye. You can sail along with the ship that I used to be on. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get called names and all this. You're going to feel lonely for a moment. That's fine. That is completely fine. You need to be alone. You need to deal with yourself. And you need to deal with your emotions. If when you get to that place, you're feeling like, I don't have anybody, and you're down on your face and you crying and you hurt and you broken and you feel like life doesn't have purpose, it is no point in you going on. I want you in that moment to laugh and say to yourself, that was one of my insecurities. Feeling needed. Feeling like I need to be around people. Thinking I need to be desired. And then I want you to pop yourself back into reality. The reality is, you're perfect just as you are. You're more than enough. You got the right to be who you are. You earned your position on this earth. You're still here for a reason, even if you don't know that reason. So make the best of what you got. Ain't no point in you sitting here beating yourself up and going around and let other people beat you up, or being like, girl, and complaining and let somebody tell you, well, you messed up and you need to, girl, I told you. No, we don't need that. We don't need nobody trying to tell us I told you so's or nothing else. We screw up. Guess what? Pick up the pieces right where you at. Them broken pieces, pick them up, and heck, start putting them pieces back together. You might be like, well, this is not the sculpture it was. This is not how it looks. So what? You just made new art. Sound crazy, right? I know it sound crazy to y'all, but I promise you, it's all in your perspective. Because what you're saying to yourself, how you're treating yourself, what you're seeing, what you're listening to, is jacking you up. Shut off the news completely. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm just going to watch the news 15 minutes a day. You can't dictate anything. You can't control anything that's on there. And the news is out here to program you. And what are they programming you with? Nothing but negativity. You ever notice they're not reporting anything good? You can still get your news. You know why? You pick up your phone and you say, hey, Google. Hey, Siri. Good morning, Google. Good morning, Siri. All you got to say is good morning. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, good morning, so-and-so. Today's weather is blah, blah, blah. In news, blah, blah. And at any given moment, you can say, Google, stop. Pause it. Siri, stop. You, at any given moment, you can cut it off. You're not sitting there like this. Everything's getting bombed. All these people are dying. That's been happening since the beginning of time. It's not about to stop. And your depression and your anxiety is not about to change it. The only thing it's going to change is your heart, your mind, your emotions. You're going to be full of fear, full of anxiety, full of stress about stuff you cannot control. And that's why there's always been a serenity poem going around. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the knowledge to change the things that I can, and a wisdom for me to know the difference. And here is your wisdom. You can't change anything that's beyond you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It is heartbreaking. It's hurtful. We wish we can do something. But if you know you are not in a position to do anything about it, then stop it. And just stop it. Oh, the world's a dark place. Since when did we not have to protect ourselves anyway? When did you let that guard down from the very beginning? Everywhere you go, yeah, they got all this trafficking and stuff going on. You know to watch yourself. You know to watch your kids. You know not to trust anybody. Okay, you know you can't even trust your own family. We all know that. We all know that. Just watch it. You know. Am I saying be oblivious? Absolutely not. You don't be oblivious. You get the news and you shut it off, but you don't get it from watching it, is what I'm telling you. Because hearing, seeing, all of that, it just does something different to you, okay? You're staring at those lights with the blue light beaming in, and it's just like paralyzing your mind, and you're just stuck, and you start to feel that feeling in your chest. That is not cool. Does not feel good. Tell people no this year, okay? Tell people no. You don't owe them no excuse. No is a full sentence. Nah, I can't do it. Well, why? I got other obligations, and that's all I can tell you, sweetheart. I had somebody the other day at work. I had an emergency go on. I told them, look, I got an emergency, so, you know, whatever. And when I came back, they were like, is everything okay? I was like, it's a setback, but it'll be alright, you know? And they were just looking like, are you sure? I'm not going to give you my information, sweetheart, if that's what you're looking to pry to. Because you're like, and the thing is, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, I was sitting there normally. But they wanted to pry into my information, and I'm not going to give that to you. And furthermore, if I was already handling it, which means it probably was a stressor for me at some point, the last thing I'm trying to do is replay that in my mind. So when somebody's like, oh, well, what's going on at it? Don't talk to me about what I'm already moved past. Don't talk about me. Don't talk to me about the past. Just like if you want to reinvent yourself, want to recreate yourself, those people who think they knew you and want to hold you to that, let them go. Those people who want to walk out of your life, let them go. It's people I did not take into 2023 with me. Up here, I've already decided I'm not dealing with it. And then not even necessarily a person, just a type of person. Like, I'm not taking these type of people. Like passive aggressive people, you can't come with me in 2023. You stay across the street. You can't come with me. You know why you can't come with me? Because I ain't got the energy for it. I can't give you the energy. I can't afford to give you that kind of energy. I'm holding on to dear life, to my peace, my prosperity. I literally have to ask myself when I go to make a spending, do I go to spend some money? Do you want this or do you need this? Okay. Now, if you just want this, okay, how bad do you want this? Do you feel like you deserve this, or is this something that it probably ain't so good for you anyway? Maybe it won't fit you anyway. Say no. Because you could spend that money on something that actually does feed your soul, something that does make you happy. If you're a type of person who like to travel, like me, okay, spend it, put it in there. Okay, say, hey, this is my reserve for this is my reserve for that, and you might be surprised every time. Like one of my goals from 2022, every time somebody asks me for, can they borrow money, I was going to take that same amount of money that I was going to say yes to, if I had it and I was going to say yes, take that amount of money and put it in a jar. I failed myself a couple times and I gave in. I was like, oh, they're not buying. But then I was like, you should have did it. Because some of these people, they always act like it's the end of the world, And then I'm like, you're supposed to put that in a jar. Okay, so now I got to take from myself. It ain't over because I make a mistake. I just restart over and be like, next time, nope, ain't got it. And it was a challenge for me because anybody that knows me know I'm a very giving person. So one of the things that I did start doing in the beginning, even though I said, oh, I'm going to put it all in a jar, I'm not going to give them anything, is I'd be like, if they ask me for 50, I'd be like, I'll give you 30. You got 100, I'll give you 20. If it can't help you, then ain't no point in me giving it to you, right? But I'm not going to give them the amount they ask for, because people think they can come to you as a reserve or as a bank or as a lending place. That money you keep taking from me, I could be putting into my family. I could be spending on a trip. I could be giving to a kid. I could be saving it for a later day fund. I could be saving it to start this business or supply some stocks or whatever the case might be. Just say no. Okay, sometimes people just want you babysitting. No, I can't do it. I can't. You don't owe them no explanation for why you can't do something for them. And if you want to give them an explanation, that's your problem. Why? People want explanations so they can refute. They want explanations so they can try to go back and forth. This ain't no barter. We're not exchanging ideas here. I can't do it. Why not? I just can't. Because you start giving excuses about why you can't do it. If they're not your best friend, your close friend, or whatever, don't give them an excuse. Okay? If they haven't been there for you, and they don't do the same thing for you, or they wouldn't do the same thing for you, you don't owe them no explanation. They want to harass you about it, shut your phones off. I told my friend last night, put it on do not disturb. Okay? Hell no. We ain't doing it. No. Hell no. If I get on your nerve, put me on do not disturb. Because I want you to have your peace. It ain't about me when it comes to someone else. It ain't about them when it comes to you. Okay? I want y'all in 2023 to wake the hell up and stop putting other people's feelings, emotions, financial responsibilities, and everything else before your own. Say no. Now, what do I want y'all to say yes to? Glad you asked. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Somebody say, hey, you want to take this trip? Don't be like, oh, I don't know if I can afford. I don't know if I'm going to be able. Say, yeah, I do. Let me see how I can figure this out. Make it happen. Well, I just don't make enough money. Excuse me? Uber, Lyft, Instacart, Uber Eats, Waze. I mean, the list goes on of ways you can hustle up for savings for yourself on the side. Okay? I just ain't got enough time to do it. Well, then it sounds like you working too hard, too long for too little. And that means you got some other obligations that you need to get in line. You need to reorganize. You need to get your ducks in a row. Okay? They need to get all in a row. Get your ducks in a row. Because if you are working your ass off and you still can't do something simple for yourself, I pity the fool at that point. Doesn't mean you need to do expensive stuff now. Like, one of the plans I'm like, let's see what's cheap. Because I'm going to go everywhere I can possibly go and enjoy myself. So you can take the cheap trips. But you need to be going somewhere. You can be frugal, but you need to be doing. You need to be living. You might not be like, I don't know why, I can't meet anybody. I haven't met any good friends. Or I don't have family. And you can be making family. Take your butt around the world. Go out here and get what you don't have. If it's not in your own reach, in your own community, you got to go outside your community. I don't care what they call you. It's so much backlash for so much stuff. Like, people, even when we go down to culture, okay, and ethnic, people are like, dating your own community. You know what? If that don't work for you, date out your community. Date out your ethnic. Screw what they talking about. Especially, I'll tell you, you get names Big Winch, Cookie Monsters, or you all Uncle Tom, whatever you might want to call people. So what? If it ain't working out for you specifically, where you've been seeking it, go elsewhere. If you always have dated outside your ethnic and it ain't working, perhaps you might not want to be so reluctant to date on your own, or find somebody else. I mean, why are we worried about what other people got to say? Like, worry about your own happiness. That's what you need to be worrying about. Now, if your happiness is causing other people's pain, and it does directly affect them, and you know what you're doing is wrong, that's wrong. But they're like, oh, my heart hurts because you chose this, or you're gay, or whatever the case might be. Screw them. That's emotional abuse. We're not letting nobody dictate us in 2023. That mental and emotional abuse gonna stop. Period. Okay? If you're saying, I'm happy smoking crack, you selfish and you stupid. If you know you're on drugs, you know you're stealing from people, you know you heard people worried about you, you out here on the street, you doing all this stuff, you just running and roaming crazy and nobody knows where you at, you're a runaway teenager or whatever the case might be, you being stupid and you dirty for hurting people purposely. Just because you're trying to get some help, because there's help out there. You might have a legitimate reason to feel that way. You may be broken on the inside, and I do sympathize with that. But the answer is not in harming yourself, self-harm, and have people broken-hearted over it and find you laid out on the street dead somewhere. That is not okay. Okay? And I'm just, hey, I'll be honest. There is counseling, and if you like, I don't want to talk to a shrink, hey, go to my website, okay? I will counsel you personally, okay? And I do have my diploma. www.manakrissis, MANAKRISSYS.com. Okay? Click the link. And if you are a child or a teenager watching this video and you're like, I don't have, the fee for this, email me, okay? Email me, explain it, and we will set up a video counseling, spiritual counseling session for you. You need somebody to talk to. I'm only extending that to young teenagers and children, okay? So, and I will have an obligation if you get to the point of self-harm. So I just want y'all to know that. But you can always call the suicide prevention line. You can call your local 211 to see where you can get help if you know you're reaching a breaking point. Okay? Now, with that all being said, we're going to say yes to ourselves this year. Okay? We're not going to second guess ourselves. If we're wrong, we just end up being wrong. That's how you learn from mistakes. Alright? I'm going to end this video here by saying welcome to 2023. We are here. We made it. We're not going to reflect on anything from yesterday or beyond. Okay? Look at the lovers. Y'all don't know that the lovers represent so much more than a unity with somebody else. It's finding yourself. It's loving yourself. It's receiving the gift from the universe of love. Okay? We got these mountains of things that happen in our lives, but we can overcome those mountains, those blessings. We can overcome those temptations. See that snake? You can overcome those temptations. Okay? It's just an energetic field, a whirlwind of things that just happens, but we find ourselves. That's why I love love. Because love, you might have all the love to give them. I just want to love somebody. Give that love to you then, okay? Because you deserve that love. Okay? Yeah, I just woke up. I ain't got nothing going on. Facial, makeup wise or whatever, who cares? Okay, if you do, suck it. It's 2023. I don't care what you think. I love y'all. I'm here for you, and I hope that you will make you a vision board. Write down what I was telling you. Post it where you can see it in the morning and at night. Once a week, at least 30 minutes. Journal and reflect on your goals, your plans. Have you accomplished? Have you started? Did you fail? What your next plan is? Write that stuff down, y'all. Namaste.